Thank you all for tuning into another edition of Outside That Shop with me, D Lane, as always, where I get to talk about everything that I normally don't get the chance to talk about. My regular sports podcast, Barbershop Sports Talk, which you guys can all find on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, or whatever your podcasting apps or platforms from. Thank you to everybody tuning in via Facebook Live, Twitter/Periscope, and YouTube live stream. Really appreciate it. Gonna have a great show for all y'all today. Check on the descriptions below. Newest one to USC, 5-minute clip. Me and Ben Karen host the Sports Call the podcast. Like I said, Barbershop Sports Talk. Check that out. Me and Kenny Sim recap and review everything week 8 of NFL action. So check that out as well. Getting a little dressed up, not as dressed up as I was the last month's show. By the way, guys, sorry I didn't get a chance to do other shows this week. I was kind of busy doing some other stuff, adjusting to a new schedule. But get this done every morning. That's the plan at this moment in time. But first, let's start with this. All the stories we have. Chiefs versus Giants. Well, big game for the Chiefs. If they lose this, the Chiefs are done. I think people need to stop talking about the Chiefs being a pseudo contender in the AFC, being a playoff team in the AFC. They're just about to lose this game. They've already lost the Bills. They've already lost the Chargers. Now you can't start losing to bad football teams like New York Giants. You can't. So I expect this to be a get-right game for KC. I expect Kelsey to have a big game. Tyreek Hill to have a big game. Patrick Mahomes to have a really good game. If this game is even close in the way, because we're seeing what the good football teams have done to the Giants, the Rams, they blow out the Giants. Then cause for concern in Kansas City for sure. Major cause for concern. So next, I'm going to get to this. Teams that impressed me and unimpressed me. First of all, Jets with a backup quarterback, Mike White, throwing for 400 yards, beating the Bengals. Extremely impressive upset of the week. Titans beating 31-34. When you're in this league, you got to find a way to win close games, especially tough divisional games. When you're coming off 2 big wins against the Buffalo Bills, then you can have a little bit of letdown against the Colts, and you find a way to win. You come back impressive by the Tennessee Titans. Philadelphia Eagles team is always impressive to me. Both NFL team out 44-0 like the Eagles into the bench. Extremely impressive. They get mine out of approval. The Dallas Cowboys winning on the road with a backup quarterback. The defense played phenomenal. Makers made big plays when they needed to in Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper. The Dallas Cowboys are real folks. They have an argument to be the number 1 team in every NFL power ranking this well. The Dallas Cowboys have been playing. They do everything well. They have no major weaknesses. When Dak Prescott comes back, the sky is the New England Patriots getting into their groove now, beating the Los Angeles Chargers. The defense is flying around. Their secondary is one of the best in all of football. Bill Belichick, Josh McVay figure things out how to work with maybe a team that's less talented and still have success. In the New Orleans Saints beating Tampa Bay. My guy Kenny Sim last night. And Tampa has lost the Saints every time since like 2018. So this has been a long time. I think this is a matchup issue between England where they just can't get it going. And it's weird because you would think that the Saints would up well with because Alvin Kamara, really good coming out the backfield. What do the Bucs have at linebacker? Linebackers who can cover running backs like a Devin White, like a Levante David, guys like that. They don't have any threats on the outs, like any major threats. Michael Thomas isn't playing in the Buccaneers, as we know they've had some injury issues in the secondary. We know that the guys like Jameis Winston, they've been known to make mistakes. I believe he's going to be done for the season with major MCL, ACL damage. But even Trevor Simeon, I think that's his name, Simeon, had a 4-touchdown game, then fell off the radar. Just went completely, no show. But you expect that the Bucs would do better, but Sean Payton, where they just have their number. Unimpressive teams. Cincinnati Bengals. If you want to be taken seriously in this league as a legit contender, you can't lose. You absolutely cannot lose to the New York Jets in a backup quarterback situation and let the backup quarterback throw for 400 yards. You can't do that. And this kind of shows that too high on Cincinnati, and that we need to look at them a little bit differently because you can't lose those games. The Bills losing to Tennessee, we consider the Bills a really good, the Titans a really good team in the AFC. Nobody considers the Jets a good team. That's not a good game. Awful game. This is almost a big enough egregious outcome that I would put them all the way back down in my power rankings outside of my top 10. But you guys for tomorrow. Next, the Miami Dolphins. I went to the Bills game. I got a chance. Quick story. So I got done running because I usually run before the game. It's about 12:50, and my roommate upstairs, Brendan. Shout out Brendan. I was going to tell you, what are you doing for the game, man? And he was like, what I'm doing is I have extra tickets. So I went there with him and his girlfriend. Actually, eventually they didn't let his girlfriend in at first because basically COVID testing, hers was 2 days late. 2 days until she's quote unquote fully vaccinated. Went around to another lot, in case that happens to anybody else, and got in, had a miraculous time to not the answer for the Dolphins. They don't trust them to throw down the field I took a note. Also, the Dolphins were a team that were 10 wins, and they just got bludgeoned by the Buffalo Bills. Just very unimpressive and not very awe-inspiring. Then also the Chargers. They're losing to two good teams, the Chargers and the Patriots and the Ravens. You're having to wonder about questions about Justin Herbert now. And the Cleveland Browns scored, not very good. I think they need Baker to be more dynamic. He was the number one overall pick. The number one overall pick is supposed to win games, not just the job to lose games, but you need to win games. The offense, Odell, 1 reception, 6 yards. Not what you'd expect from your big-time playmaking wide receiver. Jarvis Landry had a couple mistakes. Not also they didn't get their dominant rushing attack going against the Pittsburgh Steelers front seven. So those impressed me and unimpressed me. Then lastly, college football, first 4 in, last 4 out before I go. At 8, I have Notre Dame. All they do is when they beat UNC last week, their only losses to you is to Cincinnati, which is turning out to be a very good loss. Number 7, Michigan State. They just beat Michigan. Came back. Walker, their running back, Heisman contention. Oregon, they blow out Colorado. Oregon's going to need to start getting some blocks to move up in my rankings, but that's the start. And number 5, Oklahoma, they get a dominant win. Their quarterback seems to be the quarterback of the future. Number 4, Cincinnati. They just keep on keeping on. As long as they keep on winning, they're going to stay in my top. Number 3, Alabama. Did not play this week, but obviously they're still one of the top 3 most talented teams, and I just believe in them so much. They have a chance to beat Georgia, Atlanta for the SC championship game. Number 2, Ohio State. They just keep body bagging these teams in the Big Ten. If Ohio State beats Penn State and they beat Michigan, they already beat Penn State. Big Ten, second toughest conference in college football. Big Ten, toughest division in college football to the SEC West. If Ohio State continues to roll, they will be top 4, no doubt. And number 1, in honor of my brother, Brett Slater. Dog check. Woo! The Georgia Bulldogs are just amazing. 34-7. Stetson Bennett didn't even play well. It doesn't matter. You can't score on this defense. It's going to be very Alabama and Atlanta to see what happens. This Georgia defense, we need to start looking them in the tier as a LSU Tigers in 2011. Not 2011. That's Usher. That's the echelon that the Georgia Bulldogs have now put themselves in. And that's all we have for this edition of Outside the Shop. Everybody,